Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes, it's the transfer show. And, we're going to go into some more names that are linked again to the club. And, there's plenty of them. And, there's a long way to go in this window. And it's just going to get better and better. And I'm joined by Pete. How are you tonight, Pete? All right?
Very well, Tony. You?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad at all. Just enjoying this transfer window, although my brain is frazzled, by the way. So, but, long may this continue. Anyway,
Absolutely.
before we get into the show, excuse me, if you do like what you see, then please do smash that like. It really does help the channel to the top of the search. So if you do like the video, please smash it and help people find it who haven't found the channel before. Also, if you are brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe. Free to do so. Come and join this amazing community we have here. And that bell notification that will tell you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. So I'm now currently on 763 subscribers and 37 away now from 800 and 237 away from that big 1,000 as well. So thank you to everybody who subscribed so far. If you do want to become a member, it is 99p a month. Just click the join button to become a member and you'll be entered into monthly prize draws. So one worth to look at. And also, if you want to make a donation to the channel, you can do that by hitting that $sign on the super chat, super thanks, super sticker icon as well. So there we go. That's that out the way. Let's get into some comments before we get into the show. Okay, so Macy came on. Enjoy your show, Tony. And yeah, thank you very much indeed, Macy. Rory says, have a good show, Tony. Thanks, Rory. Well done, mate. Lawrence, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, Lawrence. I hope you're having a good day, mate. Bia. Oh, evening, God. Tony and Pedro. He's calling you Pedro tonight. Did you know PD stands for plenty of dates? Dirty dog, Mr. Proudlock. God. Pete's like, I wished I was having plenty of dates. Is that something you're not telling us, Pete? Or is it something that Bia knows?
He's just making it up as it goes along every time.
I thought you must have been your PA. He must have your diary. When you're free. Night and night gaming. Evening all. Good evening to you. Night, hope you're well. Evening, Tony and Pete. How are you keeping, lads? And everyone, welcome to the Mighty Tunar, the Castaneted Tunarly. Yeah, absolutely fine, Lee. Thank you very much, mate. Ian says, hi, Tony and Pete. I hope you're well. Yeah, well, I've got a bit of a cold, believe it or not. I know it sounds weird. It's summer. But I've got a bit of a coughing and sniffly nose, and it's like, it's just horrible. So, yeah. So I've got the summer cold by the looks of it. Good evening, Tony and Peter. Says Gareth. Good evening, Gareth. Yeah, Gareth. All very well and too. And here's Mag Debates. Tunali. Yeah, exactly. We've not seen you for a little while, Mag. Hope you're keeping well. Exploring the Northeast. All right, Tony and Peter? Yeah, absolutely fine, mate. Thank you. Jake says Pete goes on plenty of dates with Granny.
Oh.
I knew it. I knew he was going to say something like that.
Oh, God. It's probably going to pop up now. Hey, Jesus.
Tanji, good evening to you, mate. He says, just read on Twitter, Tonali's visited the training ground but is expected to do his media work tomorrow. George Cronin's tweet. Jordan Cronin. Yeah, absolutely. Bia says, Tonali's missus is hot. I told my girlfriend she wasn't happy. For God's sake, Bia, what are you like? I mean, what are you like? It's, yeah. But then, it's not like she's got to be jealous of you because technically, in a way, you're not going to be, you're not going to be getting a date with her anytime soon. So I think your missus should realise that she's actually safe. Right, okay, so Jordan, yeah. Exploring the Northeast says, Pete, have you took Granny off Archer and Rowley? Okay, so before getting the show, so tonight was England under-21s playing Israel under-21s in
Yep.
the semi-finals, and I watched the game from start to finish. I got home in time to watch the game, and do you know what? Israel were playing as if they were trying to stay for a draw, and maybe hopefully taking it to penalties eventually. Excuse me, but the first half, I mean, look, this guy on screen now, our very own Anthony Gordon,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the man of the match trophy the other day. I mean, look, he's had a great tournament so far. He's played really well for the under-21s, and he won a penalty tonight. And he's been obviously learning off Kieran Trippier because he done the Trippier trick. So what he did was when there was a lengthy VAR check for the penalty because the referee had gave the penalty, and
Mm-hmm.
VAR were having a really long look at this penalty to see whether the referee was right or should they send him back to the monitor and check it. So after a couple of minutes, they decided, no, it's fine, the penalty stands because Gordon was taken out. And so anyway, Gordon's keeping hold of the ball, and they're all giving Gordon the verbals, and he's not bothered. And he then hands it to Gibbs White, doing the Trippier trick, like Trippier did with Isak.
Mm-hmm.
And Morgan Gibbs White, I must say, what a disappointment that was from the penalty spot. He totally missed it. The keeper didn't even save it, went wide to the post. And it was a poor penalty from Gibbs White, but he did make up for it, mind, because in come a beautiful cross from Cole Palmer of Man City, and there was Gibbs White to get in and header it in with a superb header, by the way, and out the reach of the goalkeeper. And that put England 1-0 up at half time. I mean, look, England played a bit of shithousery as well because there was 3 minutes of added on time in the first half. And England were basically playing walking football with the ball because what they were doing, they were just walking about and just passing it to each other. And the Israeli fans were really getting irate. They were booing and everything. They weren't happy. And the Israeli players couldn't get near the ball, but they just kept walking around with it and just passing it as if they were playing walking football. And then second half came. Cole Palmer got a goal. Linesman put his flag up, offside. VAR check again. That took about another 3 to 4 minutes before they come back with an answer on that. It was a very, very tight offside call where that Emil Smith-Rowe, who provided the assist, was offside. But the Israeli player had just literally played Smith-Rowe on. So Cole Palmer was able to celebrate his goal. And then Cameron Archer came on and got a goal as well to make it 3-0. So England through at the final. That's 5 p.m. on Saturday. So that's on UEFA TV live. So make sure you're watching that and get, and see if Anthony Gordon can come back to Newcastle with the winners' medal round his neck. So he won't be seeing Tonoli anytime soon, will he? Because obviously he's the under-21s. And so now they've got a date with either Spain or Ukraine who kick off tonight. And, it should be a cracking final. England's first final since 2009 in the under-21. So let's hope they can go away and win it this time.
Yeah.
The good thing with England is they ain't conceded a goal in this competition so far. Nobody scored against them.
Wow.
So, and you can see why James Trafford's worth the money he actually is, because he is a good goalkeeper, let's be honest. And he's going to be he'll be in England #1 eventually. He's got to be.
Absolutely.
He did so well. But, I don't know if you saw any of the match, Pete, but...
I didn't actually. But it's another great to see them get to a final. Just shows these lads have got talent, and there'll be no doubt they'll be in the big team very, very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And this game time's good for Gordon because it keeps his fitness up as well.
It does.
And these are demanding games he's playing in as well, so... I thought he had a great game. I thought he had a good game tonight, in all honesty. He forced the keeper to save, but he was offside. And rightly so, the offside flag went up as soon as he took his shot. But yeah, Israel just looked as if they wanted a draw and try and take the penalties. And it was really poor from Israel, in all honesty. They did have some attacking. I mean, there was one player there who I quite actually liked, and I thought he was quite a... And I thought he looked quite a threat for Israel at times. A young lad called Glock. And he plays for RB Salzburg. He plays with both feet. He looks a very technically gifted player.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not suggesting for 1 minute wearing for him, but you know, he's going to have a bright future, that guy. And yeah, let's, you know, I think that first major shot on goal was about the 83rd minute for Israel. So by then, I think England, so by then the game was over anyway. So, right, let's have a look. Bia says, she looks expensive. I told my girlfriend I like her because she's cheap.
Oh!
Oh!
Jesus wept.
England will win the under-21s now, says Bia.
Hopefully,
I hope
great
so.
if they could.
Lee says, don't forget the jar for Granny's false teeth, Pete. Pete's been giving Granny the pipe in the kitchen, and I'm not talking about Cluedo.
Oh, thank you for that. Jesus.
Lawrence says, Spain are winning 2-1, 31 minutes in the other semi-final. Wow, 2-1. Spain are winning them. So Ukraine are not a bad side, then, are they, by the sounds of it? But, you know, I mean, what I'm going to touch on, and I'm going to bring a player in tonight as well, that there was a little link with him, and but nothing seems to have developed from it. But I'm going to bring this player in a little bit later on, and I just want to get other people's thoughts on it as well. So, but anyway, I'm going to come to the first player, and we're going to discuss this guy first of all, ESM, right? Now then, ESM. Now, according to reports yesterday, Saudi Arabia are now linked with ESM. Now, as I said in my morning show this morning, at 26, does ESM want to really go to the Saudi League and not finish his job in Europe? All honesty, I would keep ESM because I still think he's got a lot to offer. Yeah. And he deserves to be staying because we're in the Champions League and he deserves that opportunity through all the crap he's had to put up with since he came to the club under the former regime. So this lad's gone through a lot, especially under a dinosaur manager in Steve Bruce, i.e. Cabbage Head. I mean, I like ESM. I think on his day, he's unplayable. When he's unplayable, nobody gets near him. Ask Kel Walker at Man City. He'll tell you. He ripped Kel Walker a new one that day. But if the lad does leave, then that's fair enough. There's nothing we can do. What I would say, though, is, and I wonder if people in the chat will agree with me, if ESM does stay, I think this season is last chance saloon for him, because if he doesn't do it this season coming up, I think he's gone by next season. I really do. I really think it could be last chance saloon for ESM, because this is now the season. He now knows the quality of player that's coming through the door, i.e. like Tonali, Bruno, etc. He knows the quality we're looking at. So this now is the time that ESM now for this season has to step up and say, right, okay, let's try and stop these niggly injuries. Let's try and be a bit more consistent. Let's try and show the fans exactly what I'm all about and what I can and what they know I can do, but I need to do it on a regular basis. So I think this season is last chance for ESM if he stays ahead of this season. What's your thoughts on what I said there, Peter? Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, I would say so as well. It's just that's what you want to see from ESM, because he has got the potential. He really, really does. Injuries, he has been unlucky with them, you could say, in a way. He really, really has. Yeah. But yeah, this could well be his last opportunity if he doesn't perform up to the level he should be. This is Champions League now he's got now as well. So he's been here a few years as well. So it could well be if he doesn't perform. Hopefully he will. Like we said, there is definitely something with ASM, and he is unstoppable when he's on his game.
Yeah, absolutely. Jake says, and Johnny, Peter, unless you want some mini grannies running around.
Oh,
Johnny, he says you need a Johnny. Singh says, hello lads, hi to you, Cenk, hope you're well.
Very well.
Gareth says, just wish ESM would stop cryptic messages. I want him to stay as I think he can excel in the Champions League. Absolutely, Gareth. This is what I'm saying. This is going to be last chance saloon for him, I'm afraid. And this is what I want to see. I want to see an ESM who comes out fighting. I want to see an ESM who's going to be unplayable. I'm not asking him to be unplayable every game, but we just need to see a bit more consistency from him. That's what I'm asking for.
That's what you want. That's all what you want.
And that's all we're asking for, a bit of consistency. BS says, I would love to see ESM with a decent left back behind him. Again, that's not a bad shout. What's the crack? Big Tony and PD, says Del Boy. Hi, Del Boy. Well. Hope you're well. You've got Declan Rice now, 105 million quid. I mean, a massive amount of money on a player of the calibre of, of Declan Rice. And good on you for that as well at Arsenal. Absolutely. And he strengthens you a hell of a lot next season.
He certainly does, doesn't he?
But, the thing is, we get told off, I'm not talking about yourself, Del, but other people, like other fans of other clubs and things like that. Like when we signed Tonali, Newcastle's ruining football. Well, Declan Rice is 105 million. Tonali, Bruno and Willick, 112 million pound. Yet we're ruining football. Although I know Willick was bought under the previous ownership, but we're still paying for that transfer because it's an instalment. So, yeah. But good luck to Declan Rice at Arsenal this season. Knight says, is Tierney now staying at Arsenal? I'm not that bothered. I'd rather have a young boy from Southampton as he can play both sides. I think he's waiting still to see what Arteta's going to do with him. But that's what they're saying at Arsenal, apparently. Tierney's waiting to see if he's going to be in the plans next season. If not, then he wants to move. And Villa are also looking at him as well. So, again, it's one of them. We just have to wait and see. Lawrence says, have to agree. Frustrates me that it's shown how good he can be v Man City and Liverpool last season, but don't understand how his form hasn't been as good under Eddie. That's it, Lawrence. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I really do think next season, if he stays, is last chance saloon.
That will be, yeah.
Tanji says, definitely last chance for ESM. I don't want to see the bandages sitting on the floor or an Instagram post or him talking about French squad and Ballon d'Ors. Focus consistency, see as what we need from ESM. Absolutely. If you want a Ballon d'Or, go out and earn a Ballon d'Or. But you won't do it by being on the treatment table or by being inconsistent. Why does Messi keep winning Ballon d'Ors? Why did Ronaldo win Ballon d'Ors? Because they've done it consistently. That's the difference. Kate says, hi, Tony and Peter from Kate and Jonathan. Good evening, Kate and Jonathan. Hope you're well. Blakey, evening, lads. Good evening, Blakey. You're not getting blocked tonight. Don't you worry about that, mate. Sefton will be on his best behaviour. He's not in the chat tonight, by the way, yet, but he'll be on his best behaviour. And anyway, that was Kyle's fault, so blame Kyle for that one. Cheng says, I wouldn't sell ESM before him. There's more than 8 or 9 deadwood to sell. Example, we play with Real Madrid and St James's Park. Who do you prefer to see on the pitch, ESM or Murphy? I mean, look, Murphy's not done too bad, has he? I mean, he came in and he scored a few goals last season. But I see where you mean. Who would you rather have?
That's it.
If we've got a fit, firing ESM and unplayable ESM, then yeah, Real Madrid will have their work cut out. Let's be honest. Yeah, it's more the injuries with ESM's form. Yeah, absolutely. Blakey says, I stand by. I'd sell ESM if we were offered 40 million plus. That's an interesting one, Blakey. That really is interesting. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if I don't. You see, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
We don't know yet, do we?
I mean, yes, yes, there is other players ahead that need to be sold. We do know that. Yeah. And we will look to move players on, but it's just trying to get these players moved on, and that is the problem. And so again, it's just one of them. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens, But let's hope they do move on, and we get replacements in very quickly as well. Right, okay. So the next player I'm going to go to anyway, this is incomings and things like that we're looking at anyway. Right. Now, this guy is back on the radar again, Moussa Diaby. Now, he has been quiet. Now, the interesting thing is, Leverkusen have signed a new winger. Now, is that new winger to replace Diaby? And Diaby has already told Leverkusen his preference is to move to England, even though PSG want him back. But his preference is to move to England. Now then, this is where it's a bit strange, because he's been linked with Arsenal in the past and he's been linked with us.
Yep.
But according to the Evening Chronicle, we could be looking at Moussa Diaby. The guy's 23 years of age. We know he plays left wing and right wing. Playmaking's his strengths, ground duels are his weakness. 50 million quid. He started 33 games last season, played all 33. 4 times team of the week, got 9 goals and 8 assists. I mean, let's be honest, the lad's a baller. The lad is an absolute baller. And yes, I would have him at Newcastle United tomorrow morning if we could. And the thing is, it's interesting what somebody from the club has said as well, that we're not going out there to get a marquee signing. We're going out there to get big signings that have got the right character for the dressing room for starters, and that fit into the team ethics as well. So that suggests to me, now listening to that suggests that we have got more money to spend than people actually think. What's your thoughts, Pete, on what's been said from somebody inside the club?
It's very interesting, isn't it? I mean, I would have this lad. He's definitely a ball. He can score goals for a winger as well. We definitely need to strengthen that position as well. So, yes, someone like him would be great. How much were they quoting him for again, Leverkusen?
Well, according to SofaScore, he's worth around 50 million, but probably 50, 60 million.
That's reasonable, I would say. Definitely.
It is, reasonable. Isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I look at that and I just think he's worth the money. He really is worth the money. And it's just interesting that somebody from the club's actually said something like that as well. So to me, that suggests that we have more money than people actually think we've got. Or we've got so the financial fair play must be better than what everybody else is thinking, maybe. So it's certainly a one to look out for, isn't it?
It is.
So again, we'll wait and see what happens on that front. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting, that's for sure. And we'll see what happens. Now, one transfer that's definitely not happening is Chris Rigg from Sunderland, the 16-year-old. Apparently stayed at Sunderland now, so he's not going anywhere. But he's highly rated. Us and Man United were looking at him. But again, it's one of those, isn't it? But that's what happens. Now, I know we're looking at Conor Gallagher as a loan, but they reckon he could be staying at Stamford Bridge under Pochettino, and they could be giving him a new improved contract as well. So, so it looks like Conor Gallagher could stay there, but again, who knows? Who knows? Anybody could be, surplus to requirements of Chelsea. But that was according to the German outlet Bild about Diaby, that the signing of Jonas Hoffmann has been made to replace Diaby on the right flank. So that is very interesting, that. Now, another player we're looking at is somebody called, he's from Inter Milan, Kevin Zeffi. Now, he's an Irish lad, 18 years of age. He's left Shamrock Rovers for the Italian Giants on a 3-year deal in 2021, but was expected leaving the summer. Now, he's currently getting guidance from a former Newcastle player in Stephen Carr, our former right back. Stephen Carr actually owns a lavish bar in Spain now.
All right.
And so Zeffy's turned to Carr for advice on his career. And, so Stephen Carr sort of said, Newcastle wouldn't be a bad move for you. But it's a youngster, 18, so it'll be somebody to bring through the academy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, on this transfer shift, what it is while we're suggesting that Sandro Tonali may prove a relative bargain, his best years ahead of him are at 23. He's got a long way to go in the game, and he's nowhere near his peak minute. And again, we are looking at Harvey Barnes, and we know Leicester value him at a certain figure. The difference, I think, with Barnes, or why they can price him higher, is because his contract's longer than what Maddison's was. He's got an extra couple of years or whatever. So again, but who knows? Who knows? I mean, what about this? What I'm going to ask you about Livramento, and right. So on Livramento, what they're saying is the Evening Standard from London says he doesn't want to come to Newcastle. He's got no interest in Newcastle. Then there was a report saying Chelsea were going to get him. But then there's another conflicting report saying he does want to come to Newcastle and he does want to go back to Chelsea. And it's like, this has got me brain fried. Where do you stand on Livramento? I mean, look, he's a talented kid. Yes, the club value him at a certain figure. Southampton don't agree with that figure. They want more. This is because of this Chelsea sell-on clause. But the club have said they will not pay any more than they value the player. I mean, what's your thoughts, Pete?
It's an interesting one, isn't it? So he's a decent player. Because he can play both left, right, and left back, can't he?
Yeah, he can, yeah.
Oh, it is a tough one, that one. I mean, so we've still got quite a bit of right backs as well. We need to focus on the left back more than a right back in a way as well. I know he can play there. But...
yeah.
I'm thinking
Tanji says Saudi League, Murphy 15 million quid, Lascelles 10 million, Fraser 8 million, Hendrick 5 million, Lewis 15 million, Hayden 5 million, Dubravka 10 million, total 68 million plus wage bill reduced, says Tanji. Yeah, that's the thing though, we would get. Do you know what it is? I think if the Saudis buy a player off our team, you can imagine the meltdown, can't you, in media? It's going to be absolute meltdown. Oh, they can't do that, they can't do that. Cheng says, Moussa Diaby and Theo Fernandez, we can be challenging title under Eddie in house management. Do you know what? You're absolutely right, but I can't see we're getting Theo Hernandez, although we can't rule anything out. But AC Milan have stressed they will not be selling any more of their star players after the revolt they've getting. BS says, I'd love to see Diaby, but 65 million, I reckon. Again, but it'll be paid in installments, though.
If they can accept that, yep.
Tonali picks are out. We'll have a look at them. Tanji says, we entered a new financial year, so you're allowed to accrue 35 million extra in debt. And that's probably why the club know what they can do now. Cheng says, most important thing about Diaby, he's scoring from outside the box, to which we don't have many players like that. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And we need that extra bit of creativity. Just those players who can actually just, these low block teams, your Crystal Palaces, not that's so much your Leeds now because they have gone, but your Palaces, your Bournemouths, these low block teams, Luton Town's going to be the same. We're going to have to break these teams down, and we need somebody with that little bit extra now so we can just cut right through it.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to.
Blakey says nobody really knows what we can spend. People were saying 75 million. Keith Downey said we could spend 50 million without sales. It's anyone's guess. Absolutely. The club know. The club are probably laughing about it. He says, does that Gabri Vega play for Celta? If so, I hope Rafa has an easy hand talking up the tune in case he does leave. Yes, he plays for Celta Vigo. Does Gabri Vega? I would take Gabri Vega,
He's a good
absolutely,
player.
all day. Neil, evening, lads. Good evening, Neil. Hope you're well, mate. BS says, Southampton want Chelsea to buy Livramento back because the buyback clause is 38 million quid. Yeah, crazy. Brady says the sell-on clause is apparently 40%, so no wonder they want a ridiculous amount to sell. Yeah, I heard it was something ridiculous. Again, it's... I certainly wouldn't be paying more than 25 million in all honesty.
No, definitely.
And I thought Fraser was going the other way as well, so, I don't know what's happening there. So, another player we're being linked with, and this link's been out for a few days now. There he is on screen, and his name is Jesper Lindstrom.
Yes.
And he plays for Eintracht Frankfurt. He's a Danish international, 23 years of age, 6 foot. I'll go into his stats in the Bundesliga. He can play attacking midfield, high pressing as his strengths, ball control and aerial duels are his weakness. You can get him for about 30 million quid.
Yeah.
He started 27 games last season, scored 7 goals and 2 assists. But that's from attacking midfield. And got 2 yellows. I mean, I don't know. I've not seen a lot of this guy. But I mean, Pete, what's your thoughts? Jesper Lindstrom, does he sound a good enough player in your eyes, or do you think?
I think I've seen a few some clips of him. He doesn't look that bad of a player, I think. I mean, 30 million's a bargain as well, isn't it? And a very young lad as well.
Absolutely, 23. He's got years to grow.
Yeah, he has. I would probably say I would take a.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
He's getting a lot of hate still off Milan fans. Who's this, Tonali or
Tonali, I'm guessing.
or is it the owners? Because I know the owners are going to get backlash. They're going to have a riot over there, aren't they?
You cheeky with Phil Schofield's picture.
I know, it's just bloody wrong, isn't it?
Oh, I'm dreading those comments. I've probably said the comments are going to start coming in now.
Yeah, now you've said it now. But Jesper Lindstrom, not a bad player. Stats are not too bad. I mean, look, didn't play a lot last season, but again, it's one of them. And it's a one to keep an eye on, that's for sure. And let's see what happens. Right, outgoings. Now then, I've spoken to a Bournemouth fan about Caldolo. Now, according to the Bournemouth fan, he doesn't think this deal could happen at Bournemouth now. There's not a lot of news there for him, and he doesn't think it's close, and he actually doesn't expect it to go through. So then, the way I look at this is, if he's not destined for Bournemouth, he's definitely going to the Championship, and one of 4 clubs: Middlesbrough, Leeds, Blackburn, or Hull City. He's been a great servant to club, Caldolo, and we wish him well. I saw one fan say, well, swap him for Tyler Adams from Leeds United. I'm sorry, there's no way Leeds will swap him for Tyler Adams because they'll want him and money for Tyler Adams. I mean, your thoughts, Caldolo? Where do you think you'll end up?
For me, I would sell him now. I think the Championship will be more suited for him than the Premier League. He could do it in that league. He's done it for us before. That would be the better move for him because he just can't quite cut it in the Premier League for me. So I think the Championship's a more sensible move for him. Could it be Leeds? Middlesbrough are interested, but I'm not sure if they possibly could afford the wages. But someone like a top team in the Championship would be good for him.
Yeah. I'll give you a break from Schofield today, says Jake.
Well, that means other comments are still coming from other people. So
Yeah. Tamji says Milan fans will be a meltdown tomorrow when Tonali does his media work.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think they're having a full press conference, aren't they, like they did with Bruno? Mason says, evening, good evening, Mason. Hope you're well. Ricky says, he has a laugh for you. Alan Brazil thinks we will finish below Spurs next season.
What
Oh,
is
that
he
man's a
been
bell end.
sniffing? What Spurs?
He's a
If
he's a
Kane
bloody
goes,
red.
Spurs will be they'll have a good season if Kane leaves.
No. And Kane could be off to Bayern, couldn't he? So, because Bayern Munich are still in for him. A move to the Championship makes sense for Dolo, says Lawrence. Yeah, absolutely. Bia says, Jake may give you a break, but I won't, Pete. I'm still, yeah. Brazil must have been sniffing Schofield's off, says Mason. Well, let's let's see, is Brazil nuts? Dolo should go to Leeds for a portion of Daniel Falk's German sausage, says Blakey. Jesus Christ. Is that what this has come to now, is it, you know? It's oh God, honestly.
Jesus, man.
Hey. Yeah. So more on outgoings. I mean, look, we know Dolo needs to go. We've talked about ESM, like potential looking at him, but we know Javier Manquillo could be on his way out the club soon as well.
Yep.
You know, there's talk of letting him go on a free, cancelling his contract. So again, that's another one. I mean, look, we're talking about getting the left back in, but what's gone wrong with Matt Targett? And this is the thing is, I want to know what's gone wrong, because we're looking for another left back, but I think Matt Targett's a good left back.
Yeah.
Is Eddie Howe seeing something different that we don't see? I don't know.
I'm not so sure. Like, it could be, but I think it was down to because Targett got an injury. Then he went with Byrne, and then he's seen how well that back four went, and why he decided to stick with it. So possibly why.
Yeah, it's a strange one.
But I think we should be looking at more. Give Matt Targett more games. He's a player that bombs up and down the wing, where you don't see Dan Byrne do that a lot, do you? And I think Dan Byrne should be more of a centre back next season.
Yeah,
as well. So,
and where's this lad going? Ryan Fraser. I mean, look,
just
we know he's not staying at the club.
Well, just anywhere away from this club for all I care.
Can the Saudis not buy him for 30 million? Take him to Al Ittihad or wherever he wants to go, and just say, go and enjoy yourself in the desert. Bring Tonali up on the screen, Tony. I will do. I'll have a look. What you mean? This is what it's come to. It's always been like this. This is the way. Absolutely, Kong. David said, I think we need more players, not just one player. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I've said a minimum of 5. I reckon we'll get in. Mm-hmm. Daniela says, yes, you mean I get top 4, but Spurs are not getting the top 8, says Daniela. Good evening, Daniela. Absolutely. There's no way Spurs are getting back in that top 6 or whatever. They're not that good. And if Harry Kane goes to Bayern Munich, they are stuffed. They are screwed. And Madison must be thinking, why have I came here? Blakey says, Targett's a decent player for whatever reason. Eddie doesn't fancy him now. We do need to bring a left back in. Burn needs serious competition. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I was saying, no, but I just don't know why. What's gone wrong, because we signed him on a permanent last season. If Eddie didn't really fancy him, then probably shouldn't have signed him permanently, but I don't know. You know, Jamal Lewis should be on his way out the club, I think, as well in the summer.
Yeah, it should be.
What sort of fees do you think we'll get for him? Because do you think we'll get the £15 million back we paid?
Probably not. Maybe 10. You could say maybe just over that. But I think he needs to go for the
Yeah,
sake of his career because he's still young. It just for this because he's not going to get the games anymore. Yeah, that's the problem. So you need to move him on.
yeah, yeah. Definitely, that's the thing, isn't it? And yeah, he does. He just has to be moved on, and that that will be the thing, just to move him on.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree with you on that one. Right, the player I'm gonna bring up. I'll bring Tonali up soon, guys. Don't worry. But the player I want to bring up as well. Um, right, let me find a decent pic of him, and then I'll fetch him up on screen. And I'm going to ask people their thoughts on this player, because I actually rate this guy quite highly, and I think, in all honesty, um, he would be great backup in the club, because he's not just one for the future; he's actually a one for now. And just like I say, I'm just trying to find a decent picture of him, and then I'll fetch him on screen. Right.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find a big enough picture of him. Sorry, guys. This one might be the better picture, I think. So I don't really want to say who it is yet until I've got this. Right, there we are. I've got a picture of him now. Right. Now, like I say, we previously linked to this guy back in May. There he is on screen now. Do you know who he is, Pete?
Who was that one?
Do you know who he is? No?
I can't. I'm not sure.
Right, let me tell you. Well, his name is Taylor Harwood-Bellis, right?
Oh.
I think he's a terrific centre half. He played for Burnley last season in the Championship on loan from Manchester City. Now, the interesting thing is, he actually only has a year left on his contract. Well, less than a year now. Runs out on 30th of June 2024. It's valued at 18 million quid. He's centre half. Ground duels is his strengths, no outstanding weaknesses. He played 31 out. He started 31 out of 32 games for Burnley. Got 1 goal and 2 assists as a centre half, and 6 yellows all season. Now, Harwood-Bellis, I rate this lad really, really highly. I really do. He's a right-footed centre back as well, which is what we need. We need cover, but we need a centre back for the future as well. And Harwood-Bellis, I rate him really, really highly. And I watched him today, and I tell you what, his positioning. I know it's on the under-21s, and people might say, "Oh yeah, that's the under-21s." But I've seen him play for Burnley as well when I've watched a couple of Burnley games in the Championship.
Mm-hmm.
His positioning is really spot on. He's got a big future ahead of him, and he's going to be an England centre back. He's got to be in the future, because this lad is. I like this lad. I really do. Now, we were previously linked with him back in May. I'm hoping we are going back in. I hope we do go for this lad, because 1, he's English. 2, he's under 21, so he wouldn't command a squad place, and he could be the successor to Share and be the permanent partner with Botman, and that would be a young centre back partnership. But this lad, I really rate him. I really do, and I think if we can go to City and say, "Look, can we, how much, we'll offer you, say, 15 million," they might say, "Yeah, take it." Or even if we got him on loan for the season,
Yeah.
with an option to buy, and then say, "Right, actually, this lad is a baller. Let's buy him next season," because we've got that option to buy. I mean, guys, in the comments, what do you think? Harwood-Bellis. This is my pick. I really like this lad, and I think this lad would be really good in our defence. I really do. I rate this lad so highly, and I think he has got a hell of a future ahead of him. I mean, when you think James Trafford's going to Burnley from Man City, the goalkeeper, And Man City's got a lot of centre-backs, so they can't keep them all.
No.
And this guy's going to want to play first-team football. So, better way, come from the northwest, come to the northeast, come and play for us. Because I tell you what, I rate this guy highly. I really do. I mean, look, he really is good. What's your thoughts, Pete, on this one? Is it a surprise what I've come up with?
Yeah, absolutely. If you said, for what you've said, if he's done well in the Euros, then why not give it a chance as well? So, Cher's knocking on now. That's the thing now, because he's 31. He'll be 32 this year as well. So that's why we need to bring him in. Lascelles, to me, needs to be moved on now as well. So another young centre-back would be great. And give competition as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, what I'll do is I'll compare him to Fabian Cher. Okay? So, defensive-wise, Cher's slightly better, 78 to 75. Tackling-wise, Cher's better by 73 to 63. Technical-wise, Harwood-Bellis is better, 48 to 42. Creativity-wise, Cher's better, 50 to 43. And attacking, Cher's better, 41 to 36. But remember, lad's only 21 years of age. He's got a long way to go in the game. I mean, he's not the finished article by any means. But, he's got a year left. Like I say, he's under a year on his contract now. And it's now great to see that there's players like that out there. And I mean, the thing is, what's to say we don't go to Man City and make an offer for him, I would get him. Because you could play him in the cup games as well. So it's not like he's not going to play at all. Get him in. I think he's decent. I really do. And I've watched him for the under-21s, and I've been highly impressed with him. And I just thought I'd just throw that curveball in there, because that is my surprise one that I was keeping back. But yeah, I do like him, though. I really do. But whether we go for him, I do not know.
We'll wait and see.
But whoever buys him will be getting a cracking centre-back. That's for sure. Right, let's go into some comments, because there might be some comments on this one as well about... Right. Right, we're just getting back to where we were. There we are. Blakey says, Target's decent. Oh, yeah, we've read that one. Sorry, Blakey. Yeah, we did. It was the next one, Lee. Sorry. Fraser said sent him to Ken Dodd. He needs new Diddy man. Did he play with, or did he hell? Yeah, absolutely. BS says, for me, it's not about Target, it's about Trippier. When he goes forward, Burn tucks in as a third centre-back. Yeah, absolutely. Blakey says we should ship out all the Deadwood, send it to Schofield's house so he doesn't mind what kind of wood he gets. Oh, God. Honestly, guys. Honestly, come on. Guys, if you do like what you see, then please do smash that like. We've got 30 watching, 19 likes, so please smash those likes. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you. And if you are brand new at the channel, then please smash that subscribe and come and join this wonderful community we have here. And also, if you want to become a member, it is 99p. You can do that by clicking the join, or you can super chat by clicking the $sign as well. Ben says, hi, Tony and Pete. I think Newcastle should look at Zaniolo. Amazing young winger. Look, Zaniolo, right. He's a good player, but he's too injury prone. Far too many injuries for my liking. What about you, Pete?
Never. Who's he playing for now, Zaniolo?
Roma, isn't it? He plays for us still?
Yes, that's right. Again, I've not seen much of him. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of him. He is a decent player, don't get me wrong, but it's the injuries. That's what worries me. Daniela says their Facebook chat saying you're looking at Harvey Barnes, but paper saying West Ham are close to a deal. Any thoughts? Yeah, we are looking at Harvey Barnes. Do you know what? Let's talk about Harvey Barnes. I mean, right. The guy has qualities, and I know Rowley doesn't agree with this, right, with Harvey Barnes. Rowley's not convinced because he said, well, he got relegated. But look, besides the point he got relegated, this lad scored 13 goals for a team that went down last season.
He did.
The team didn't go down because of Harvey Barnes. The team went down because defensively they were crap. They sold Schmeichel, who they probably should never have sold. If they'd kept Schmeichel, they wouldn't have gone down. And I'm not saying one man makes a team, but his leadership qualities is what they have missed. 2, they signed Wout Faes, who's just a shit Colaccini, and it is absolutely dog shit. And the thing is, do they expect us to? When you've got a player like that who can score a brace against Liverpool, but he scores the goals for Liverpool in his own net, you know? So, no wonder Leicester got relegated.
Who else did have? Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans, yeah. He's over the hill now. And
Soyuncu, I don't think was the same player as well.
Yeah, he's another one, isn't he? Yeah, absolutely. But this guy, 13 goals in the team that got relegated.
Yep.
And this guy has got qualities.
He does.
And, and do you know what? Even if he came in, it wouldn't surprise... I know he plays as a left winger, but it wouldn't surprise me if Eddie turns him into an inverted right winger, because he's done that with Almiron as well, because I always said Almiron plays better on the left. So there we go. So I hope that one answers your question, Daniela, in a roundabout way. But, Jody says, evening all. You're late, Jody. Where you been? His alarm clock didn't go off. Blakey says, I've heard we're leading the race for Harvey Barnes. He's keen on the move. Yeah, absolutely. Anyone heard out about the futures of Dummett and Karius, etc.? I thought we would have heard by now whether or not they are staying at the club.
No,
I haven't. Karius, I'm not sure what's happening because his girlfriend in Italy, she's a reporter and she's pregnant, so we don't know if he's going to go there. But on Dummett, I know Eddie Howe said he was keen to keep him for another season. Again, we've not heard of things, so we'll just have to wait and see on that one. I'm sure the club will announce.
Yeah.
Tanji says, Paper's making a lot of money linking every player at the tune. Absolutely. Sharma, he says, new Newcastle fan from India. Welcome to the channel, Sharma. And good to see that you've come supporting the tune.
Yay.
Yeah. Jake says, buy him, Harwood-Bellis. And I knew people would like him when I started mentioning who he was. I like Harwood-Bellis. I would have him. City might demand a high price. Thing is, though, he's only got less than a year left on his deal. I can't see why City would demand a high price, because if he's not a first teamer for them, I don't think they'd price ourselves out. We're getting rid of him if they lose him for a free next season.
Oh, Jake, you twat! For fuck's sake, man! Oh, do you want me to share it? Do you want me to get it up and show you what he shared? Oh, here we go. Right. This is what he's done. Oh, no. He says, on a date with Granny. Fucking hell, man. Oh. Jake, man.
Oh, Jake.
Hey.
Excellent, Jake. Excellent. Blakey says, sorry, Danielle talking to Blakey, sorry. Bias says, I've heard that we're in for Harvey Price as a replacement for himself.
Oh, yeah. Jesus!
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Blakey says, yeah, so many different rumours doing the rounds. Absolutely. This is what I'm saying. My head is frazzled in a good way with this transfer window, because we are being linked with every man and his dog just about. And the thing is, this is what's great about it. But this is what I keep saying. Look, I see meltdowns on Twitter. Oh, we're not signing this player. We're not signing that player. in times I'd love to comment, but the problem is you get a whole lot of abuse back. So it's not worth commenting because people think they're right and you're wrong. But the way I see it is, look, there's a long way to go in this window.
That's it.
Let's be patient.
So
Let's be patient and watch the signings. The signings will come, but we are not going to go out there mentioning who's coming in the club, and that is the difference. Jody says, I think Harwood-Bellis will be a decent sign, especially if we are looking at someone for a rotation player to share in Botman.
Yep.
Well said, Jody. Absolutely, mate.
Absolutely.
Because if Lascelles is going in the summer to either West Ham or Luton Town, then we need his replacement as well.
Yep.
Granny evening. Granny's in the house.
Oh, God. Jesus.
Knight says, I'd go for Cole Palmer as well. Right-sided player to cover Mickey. Right. Talking about Cole Palmer, yes, I think he's an excellent player, and I've seen him for the under-21s, and he looks class act. But we did actually try and get him on loan last January, and Man City said no, and they will not lend him out to anybody. They rate him highly. They want him for themselves. So I think he's a big player for Man City, and I think it's going to be very hard for anybody to prize him from Man City. He's probably the next Phil Foden, but on the right side. So because they would have, when we asked for him on loan last season, they said no straight away. He's going on loan nowhere, and we're keeping him. So who knows? Harwood-Bellis is obviously rated by Vincent Companies. He played for him at Anlet and Binley, which to me shows that Harwood-Bellis has a great future ahead. Absolutely, Jody. I would love him at the club. I really would. Thoughts on Lewis Gibson leaving Everton? Is someone who you would have took back at Newcastle. I mean, look, Lewis Gibson, he left us, went to Everton, and he wanted to stay and play games for them, and they've said no. He's gone to Plymouth now, so yeah. It's a shame, isn't it? But good luck to him. I hope he does well at Plymouth.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
He's joined Plymouth. I'm wondering if he's someone who Tony and PD and the viewers would have took if he wasn't. Would you have took Lewis Gibson back? I don't think so.
Probably not now.
Not now. Too long in it. Danji Archie says hello.
That must be his
hello,
dog.
Archie. Dave Bullman, evening lads. Do you think Eddie will stick to a 4-3-3? I like the options of a 4-2-3-1. You can play Longstaff and Tonali, Bruno up in front with Joe Linton on the left and Gordon on the right and Isak up top. I think he'll stay with a 4-3-3.
Thing is, I don't think Longstaff works as a CDM though as well. At times.
Yeah, I think he'll stay with the 4-3-3 in all honesty. But I do like your theory there though, Dave. That's a good good comment, that, mate. Yeah, absolutely. Rory says, I think we could just do better. He's a good player, but I'd rather look at someone else. I think Leicester will want too much. If we do get him, I won't be upset, though. Yeah, Rory, I know what you're saying, but it's the goals he brings as well. I mean, 13 goals from a winger. That's what we're crying out for. A winger who scores. That's what you want. Because it's great having a striker, but you want your midfield and your wingers to chip in with goals as well. Because the more goals you score, the more games you'll win. So that's why I'm saying Harvey Barnes is a good goal scorer winger. 3-1 to Spain, says Lawrence. Ian says Karius has been offered a new contract. Yeah. Alan says, hope we get Barnes. Can't argue with his goal and assists last season. That's exactly. Right, I just want to put something out there now. Now, Jake commented on one of my videos this morning, and he says about this lad from Russia, from Krasnodar, Spurtian, the Armenian player, and he said, how have our scouts gone to Russia to? You can't send scouts out to Russia to watch him. Well, I didn't see I did see the scouts went to watch him, but I didn't see where they went to watch him. What they did was Man City and Newcastle scouts watched him when Armenia played Wales in the international, which Armenia beat Wales 4-2, and he was he was the star of the show apparently. But yeah, that's where the scouts went to. But again, yeah, but again, it's one of those, isn't it? I don't think it's going to happen because you can't buy players from Russia. That's the thing. You can't trade with Russia now. So, and that's why I just put that one to bed. But that's the thing. We did send scouts out, but we watched them in the international game, not in a league game. So, just sort of just put that out there. EFC Bournemouth TV. Good evening to you. He says Ukraine versus England football stream start.
All right.
Ukraine England. When?
Oh, well, I don't know that.
I don't know. Unless he means when we play Ukraine away. I think it's in Poland, isn't it? That's where they're playing. Jody says, I'm wondering whether Dummett and Karius have signed those deals. Yeah.
We'll get more on that at some point.
Blakey says, what a lovely looking couple.
Fuck.
That granny on there, though, that wasn't Granny who comes on our chat. That looks like the Irani granny. Who goes on? She goes on 2 reviews, Jack, because I've seen her on there, Irani granny.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's it now.
Godfather says, Granny's got a fit body. Bia says he's got a dribbling eye here.
Oh! No. Fucking hell, man.
Coffee says, hi, Tony PD and all. Hi, Coffee, hope you're well.
I feel well. Coffee. Sorry.
Godfather, calm down, Rolly. Don't look at the picture. Blakey says, get Harvey up front. He might take after his dad.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Lee says, we'll get some great class players in the next few days. I hope so, Lee. Do you know what it is, though? I'm just waiting. I'm patient. I'll wait.
Same as well.
You know?
That's it.
And, yeah. Jake seems to have too much time to waste, says Daniela.
He does. He sent me another one, actually.
God. He's multitasking tonight. That's unusual.
He wanted to put it on, but he's gone too far with this.
If it's a bit rude, I can't show it. But
no, it's not rude. It's like what he's done. The cheeky git.
God. He has got too much time on his hands.
He does.
Jody says there's not many left-sided centre-backs. That's what I was thinking, Long. Yeah, exactly. Well, Evan and Dick has a left-sided centre-back, but again, he's on a free transfer, isn't he? I don't know if he's signed for anybody. But yes, says all the best teams play 4-3-3. Eddie has said that, absolutely.
You do.
Gordon playing really well in the Euros, says Coffee. Yes, he is, Coffee. He's having a great time, isn't he? Jody says, if Harvey Barnes joins West Ham, would you take Jared Bowen? Yeah. Yes, he's a good player. But I can't see West Ham selling Bowen. Because if they sold Bowen, there'd be a riot.
Yeah, it could well be.
It's bad enough they've lost Rice.
Yeah, so they'll need to use that money to try and get some of the players in.
Dave says, Barnes has been in double figures for the goal scoring last 3 seasons.
Yeah,
if the money's right, good deal. Absolutely, mate. Definitely. Absolutely. I mean, look, if I just go into I'll just go into Harvey Barnes a moment, okay? And see what SofaScore scores rating him at. Don't forget this lad's been in the England team as well. They rate him at 38 million euros, which is about 35 million quid. Now, obviously, last season he got 13 goals. If we go to the season before that, he scored 6 goals. 2021 season, 2020-21, 9 goals. 19-20 season, 6 goals. 18-19 season, He only got one goal, but because he was on loan at the time, I think, as well. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The quality's there. You know, and okay, his defensive work's not great, or technical ability, but creativity's not bad. And I mean, look, I'm going to put this up on screen. I've compared him to ESM, right?
Okay.
Because ESM currently plays on the left, so I've compared him to ESM. So I'll just remove Dave's comment for a moment there. We know what Barnes brings to the table. We know that, right? So that's on screen now. Right. So as you can see on his heat map there, he does play more down on this left side. Now, I've compared him, like I say, with ESM. Now, the attribute overview, okay? So defensively, he's better than ESM defensively by 10 points, 25 to 15. Tackling wise, ESM comes out a bit more, 37 to 31. Technical ability, ESM smashes them 92 to 55. Because remember, ESM's in the blue. Creativity, ESM's better than him, 76 to 61. And attacking wise, ESM 80 to 68. Now that's what they're saying on Harvey Barnes, and that's the comparison between him and ESM. You look at them stats there, and it makes you think, hang on, ESM is the better player, isn't he?
It does, doesn't it? So,
but we just need ESM to do it on a more consistent basis.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's what you need.
Excuse me, guys. Yeah. Now, if I compare them, say, with Miguel Almiron, there's Almiron there. Attacking wise, they're bang on the same, 68. Creativity, Harvey Barnes comes out on top over Almiron. Technical ability, Almiron just edges it. Tackling, Almiron edges it massively. And defensively, Almiron smashes it as well. So, on attacking, they're basically on the same level. Which is interesting, that, isn't it, Pete?
It certainly is, isn't it?
Yeah. But I'm not saying Harvey Barnes is a bad player, by the way, because I think he's a great player. I do, I really do. And yeah. I could see Harvey Barnes at Newcastle excelling. I really could.
You could really.
So, yeah. So, guys, what do you think of those stats as well? Granny says, sorry, Rolly can't make it tonight, lads. He's at mine quite a lot now. I was wondering why he turned me down in this tonight. Daniela says, do you think Jonas, I think let's done one season in the Champions League, sell ourselves to Champions League player, go for them the next two windows. I think it's a gradual process, in all honesty. I really do. Foxy says, Di Maria back to Benfica on a free. Wow. Good move. Jody says, great to hear that Rob Elliott was playing for the Heat last night against Heaven.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he didn't have nothing to do, though. According to Mason, the defence was that strong, he didn't have to make a save, so he probably done a Nick Pope. He probably got the garden chair out, sat in the garden chair with his fishing rod and had his pina colada. Granny's got slippy fingers, Pete says Lee.
Oh, God.
Blakey says Harvey's prices. Dwight York. Oh, yeah. Jody says, bet Pete knows all about those fingers, Lee. 4-1 to Spain now, so it looks like it's an England-Spain final. You make a lovely couple, Pete, says Ian.
Oh, God.
Oh, and talking about a granny, yeah, she is. Somebody mentioned my name. I usually wind that poor guy up, but I'm here now. Hello, Granny. And if you're new at the channel, smash that subscribe as well. Thank you. Lawrence says, I think he's joined Roma and Dicker. Yeah, I knew he was out of contract, but I didn't know if he'd gone anywhere. I hadn't seen anything. Alan says, yeah, Bone's a good player. I would take, definitely. Granny's in the chat says, good. Ronnie Granny says, I went on a date with Pete. He took me to Tesco's and bought me a new carrier bag.
What?
Jake says, wait, there's two grannies. Blakey says, worse than two Schofields. Daniela says, Jared Bones just signed a new contract, so he'd be 90 million, but you can have Antonio. No, we'll pass on Antonio, Daniela, but no. I did say West Ham wouldn't get rid of Bourne as well. They won't. No. Unless somebody does come in with a mad offer. Frankfurt's replaced Ndicka with Ecuadorian William Pacho, and today they took Robin Koch on loan from Leeds.
Oh.
Well, that's interesting. So Koch's gone back to Germany. Maybe it might do him the world of good. So, yeah. Nate says there's more end product with Barnes, though, so I disagree with those stats. Okay. Yeah, there is. There's a lot more end product. That's the thing with Maxi. Not enough product, not enough end product with Maxi. And if you remember when we did sign him from Nice, his manager at the time, who was Patrick Vieira, turned around and said, Maxi has got the talent, but it's his end product that's missing. And he did say that.
Yeah.
Changed Jaron Bourne's name to Jaradio Boinho, and he'd be £40 million. It's all this English tax for players. They do. How many games did the SM and Barnes play? Well, Barnes played, last season, Rolly? I'll tell you what Barnes played last season. He started 32 out of 34 games. And Maxi, I'll tell you what Maxi doing last season. Last season, Maxi started 12 out of 25 games. There you go, Rolly. Andrew says he's Italian. We signed him from AC Milan. It's Tonali. He's arrived. Newcastle and plays in midfield. It's Tonali. Yeah, absolutely. Also, Jared Bourne married Danny Dyer's daughter, a hardcore Hammers fan, so he's not leaving us soon. Jody says, would you take the Italian lad at Leeds instead of Gnonto, or however his name is spelt, instead of Barnes? Gnonto, I'll tell you what, he's only 19, Gnonto, and he's not a bad player. He's a bit of a... I look at him like I did about Anthony Gordon. I think he's a bit of a rough diamond that just needs smoothing out. Wilfred Gnonto. Right, let's look at his stats from last season. Started 14 games out of 24 played. Can play left wing or striker. And he scored 2 goals and got 4 assists. The lad's got pace. There's something about him. And I do truly, I think there is a player there. It's just getting it out of him. I don't think Leeds is the greatest club for him, in all honesty. I think he's wasted at Leeds. I really do. I mean, he may tear the Championship up next season. I mean, I know they got him from Zurich for $4.5 million. Because Zurich got him on a free from Inter's under 19s. But do you know what I would tend to do? If there was a chance, I would go to Leeds and say, look, can we get him on a loan deal with an option to buy? And if he smashes it for us in the Premier League, take him. But I would take him on loan.
Yeah.
And because he's under 21, he doesn't command a place in the squad either, the 25-man squad. What do you think, Pete? Gnonto?
It's not a bad talent, is he?
Yeah. Rob Elliott playing against the 2 next week. Anyone going?
Yes, I'm there for the Gates of Newcastle game.
Fish fingers, Pete, says Lee.
God, Lee.
Alan Franklin, good evening to you. He says, and Dicker and Cox, steady now, Granny. Robin Koch felt he had to leave Leeds as he couldn't measure up to Daniel Fox, Big Germany sausage. Big Germans. Barnes over. Barnes over Maxi for me, says Paul. Yeah. I do for his goal scoring wise. I just thought I'd just put them stats up just to have a look at the two styles of the players. But what I was saying earlier, Paul, was I think a Maxi who shows consistency more on a consistent basis, I really do think would be a super player, but he doesn't do it consistently enough. And as I said about ESM earlier on in the show, if anybody's missed it, I do think next season, if he stays, it is definitely last chance saloon for Maxi, because he's got to go out there and he's got to start showing it. If he doesn't do it next season, I think he's gone. Simple. Yeah. I think it's definitely next season is last chance saloon if he stays. Paul Stones I'd have Barnes over Maxi. Barnes has not made a glass and has more goals and assists. Absolutely, that's the thing. The injuries concern me with Maxi as well. Did someone say Cox as granny? The thing is, as well, I saw somebody put around the other day, would you take Adama Traore? Well, he's gone somewhere else. Nope, I wouldn't take Adama Traore. I don't rate him. And plus, I don't think we've got any room to keep all these baby oil either.
Oh, yes.
Because he needs a separate cupboard for all that.
He's got the end product, him, like.
Archer says, what's your thoughts on we've been given the green light to sign Diaby? I think that if we get him, that would be a cracking sign, Archer, if we get him. We'll just have to wait and see. Jody says, Lawrence says, Gateshead also plays Sunderland on Saturday. Going to that one.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah. Come on, Gateshead. Daniela says, just seen Newcastle are interested in the summer move for England defender Marc Guehi, although Crystal Palace wants 60 million. Yeah, I've seen that. Marc Guehi, they want 60 million quid for him, Pete. He is only young and he is a cracking defender. Let's be honest, he is. Your thoughts, 60 million quid?
No, not yet.
I don't think he's probably worth much as 60 million, but I'd maybe say 40 million. They only paid 20 million from Chelsea for him.
Mm-hmm.
But Joachim Anderson, who we're interested in, Crystal Palace are wanting at least 40 million for him as well. Would you pay that?
Not a bad defender, is he?
No. Spain's 5-1 up now.
Oh, well.
Cheers, Lawrence. Maxi on his day can be class, I agree. But you're right, it's not often enough. Yeah, thanks, Paul. Absolutely, mate. Spain look good. Thing is, though, is that Ukraine side really poor, though? That's the thing. And they're going to be coming up against an England team who haven't conceded at this tournament yet. I think it'll be a cracking game on Saturday evening and Saturday at tea time. So, yes, definitely look forward to that one. And I will look at what Tanji sent me as well. He sent me a tweet. Just sent you a tweet, Tony. Chelsea fans over Mount saying it's shocking. I'll have a look, mate. Rowley says Maxi would have had more assists if our finish not been better. Yes, that was a thing, Rowley. But if Maxi stayed fit long enough as well, that's the problem, Rowley. He's not staying fit long enough. And I really do, Rowley, think next season, if he stays, it's last chance saloon for Maxi. I'm sorry, but it is. And, I know you might not agree with me, Rowley, but it is. Next season is last chance saloon if Maxi stays. Because that's where you'll be drinking in last chance saloon. English tax on average player says coffee. Sunderland too, absolutely.
Sundershite.
Ukraine did beat France. Yeah, Ukraine did beat France. So, yeah, they did, Lawrence. They did, absolutely. What channel's the final on? It's UEFA TV. So you can either download the app on your Android phone, or if you have a Hisense TV, like I have, the app's already on the TV because you can't get it on other TVs because Hisense sponsor UEFA. Or you can watch it online. So you can get an app on your phone, iPhone or Android, whichever you're on, and you can watch it through there. Just sign up. It's free to sign up, and you can watch it for free on there. Foxy says, Barnes you would take ahead of Gnonto. Gnonto way too wasteful. Another version of ESM,
Fair enough.
but worse. No, what I was saying about Gnonto is, yes, I know he's wasteful, Foxy, but do you not think if we got him on loan, maybe for a season, and with an option to buy, and if he didn't do it for us, you just say at least there you are, you can have him back. We don't want him. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's a risk, because if you buy him, then you're putting yourself out there. But if you take him on loan, it's a low risk, really.
That's it.
Because if he doesn't do it, you could even send him back in the January and say, sorry, you're not good enough, you know. But I think we could get the best out of Nonto, to be honest with you. Paul says, anyone know anything about that Irish lad we are meant to be signing from Inter? I did touch on that earlier. That it's Zephy, isn't it? Yeah, apparently Stephen Carr, our ex-right back, is being given him advice, and I think he's trying to point him in the direction of Newcastle United as well. Because Stephen Carr still loves his time that he had here at Newcastle. And he wasn't a bad right back, to be honest. Stephen Carr was all right. Yeah, so again, yeah, he's one for the future. He's only 18, but again, you know, that's what we want. We need to build the academy up. Rory says, I agree. If he stays, I hope he does. He has to perform or he goes. Absolutely, Rory. 100% he's got to start performing. Because if he doesn't start performing, I'm afraid the exit door's that way and he'll have to go. So, yeah. Right, I'm going to go just quickly, Pete, and have a look what time she sent me. So what Chelsea fans have done is they've got a shirt and they've wrote snake on it with Mount, and they're standing on it, weeing on it, sticking their middle finger up. School kids, you know, really, really hard people, you know. Yeah, absolutely disgusting, and I just don't know what they're getting out of that. If they think that's clever, then obviously they've got nothing else better to do. So I think that may be a name that you don't really want to mention on screen. Or is it an actual player? I don't think so. Is it, Pete?
Oh, I don't want to. You just don't want to.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Coffee says, since Milan wanted the SM, do you think a swap for Leao would be a good deal? Not now, it wouldn't be, because Leao signed a new contract with AC Milan, and I can't see that happening, mate. On all honesty, not now. Granny says, I hope you can keep performing too, Rolly. Bia says, I saw one Twitter girl had a yellow python around her neck saying she thought she'd got away from Mason Mount.
Oof.
I mean, why is the meltdown on Mason Mount? I mean, the club didn't want to play him; they wanted rid of him, and yet everybody's having to go at Mason Mount now. It's just like, you know, no wonder the lad doesn't want to be there. You know, can't blame him. Daniela says this English tax thing is a rubbish. It's only used by the fans of rich clubs because the rest of football have cotton on that the only way they get real money is to overcharge for players. It's very true, Daniela. Very true. And right, I mean, look, I'm going to have a look at Marc Guehi's stats, right? And we'll see why Palace are viewing him at such a high price. Let me find these. Right. I think how we Marc Guehi. I mean, they're wanting, like I say, 60 million for him, which I know is it's a lot of money, Pete.
Yeah.
For somebody, but again, It's just it's the way it is nowadays, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it is. And Taggy's just sent me that of what the Chelsea fans have done, and it's just
Yeah. I call him Marc Guehi. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, or Marc Guehi, or I don't think it's Guehi, is it? It's Way. It's got to be Way, yeah, because it looks like it's a. But I mean, last season he started 37 out of 37 played, got 1 goal, no assists, involved with 8 clean sheets, successful dribbles at 82% per game. Accurate passing per game is 85%. He's 22 years of age, right centre back. Now, according to SofaScore, he's worth 33 million euros. He's got a contract until 2026. I mean, look, he's quality. He has got qualities. His ground duels and ball control are his strengths. He's got no weaknesses. If you could get him for about 40 million quid, I would say yes, definitely. Because the lad is talented. And again, he's he's in the England team, isn't he? So, why not? What do you reckon, Pete?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't pay 60.
No, definitely not pay 60.
Yeah. So let's get into the comments. Foxy says, I want to see Nanto light up the championship for Leeds, then you revisit in January, or if you can get a good price for him right now and loan him back to Leeds for the year. That's not a bad shout, Foxy.
It's not like.
Lawrence says, English players cost more because you need 8 homegrown players in your Premier League squad. Yep. Coffee says, couldn't find a player that BR named.
It was a funny name, that's why.
BR says, Fabrizio said we were in for the world's kid. Leo Saha. Oh, Saha. Oh, yes, I know who you mean. Yeah, it's not a joke name. No, we weren't saying it was a joke name. We just weren't sure that was all. We've not heard of that player. Yeah, I know the one you mean, though. Leo Saha, yeah. Yeah, he's he plays for Wolves. Is he? I think he's centre back or something, isn't he? I'm not sure. But anyway, he's not on. Yeah, he's not actually listed on SofaScore. But I know the one you mean, Marc Guehi. Yeah, that's what he's called. I was just taking the P. Jan says Maxi plus 25 million for Hernandez. Go, Maxi. Yeah. Oh, Leo Sahar. Excuse me, guys. 16-year-old player. Louis Saha, he's retired now. He has retired, yes. Louis Saha has, hasn't he? Definitely, Jody. He's definitely retired, mate. Well and truly. I mean, I'm going to touch base on this one as well. I don't know if I've actually spoken to you about this one, Pete. Right, now I'm going to get a picture of him up on screen as well, so just bear with me. Now, apparently, and this is according to media reports, so again, it's only media speculation. It's not saying it's true or anything like that. Apparently, Eddie Howe would love this player at Newcastle United because of the quality he brings and the fact he's proven in the Champions League as well. Right, I'll get his picture on screen and then we'll discuss. See that now? There we are.
Yeah.
Right. So, Eddie Howe is on about Antoine Griezmann. Now, I've seen a lot of fans put on there, too old, 32 years of age, don't want him, no good, he doesn't fit the bill. Right.
No.
Now then, let's look at it, right? Okay, he is 32 years of age. We know that. But this guy brings a lot of experience to your team. Champions League experience, international experience he's got with France, the guy is brilliant at his ball play. I mean, look, he can play attacking midfield and striker, positioning, long balls and playmaking's his strengths. He's a great playmaker. He's got that creativity about him as well. So he's not just a striker, but he can just tuck in midfield. Last season, for Atletico, he started 31 out of 38 games. 10 times he was in Team of the Week. Got 15 goals and 16 assists.
Right.
And the thing is, yes, he won't have no resale value. And yes, his wages might be big. Okay, we know that. But all I'm saying is, and like I say, this is only what I saw from the media. This isn't saying that we are going to get him. But if we did bring him in, and you got, say, 2, maybe 3 years out of Griezmann, you're getting a quality player for about 2 or 3 years because he's got all that experience as well. And, I mean, look at Messi. He was still knocking it about for Barcelona, for PSG at 36. He's won a World Cup at 36. And he's still playing now. He's gone back. Yes, I know he's going to the MLS, but he's going for a last hurrah. Ronaldo's still playing out in Saudi Arabia. Griezmann, 32, I still think wouldn't be a bad one. Wouldn't be a bad at all. Just to bring that bit of experience into the squad. And it would help the youngsters in the squad as well. Can you imagine like Elliot Anderson watching Griezmann in training? He'd be like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
He'd bring young players on because of the way he plays and his skill. So sometimes you've got to have that little bit of experience in your squad.
Yeah.
I think he would be great. I really do. I mean, what's your thoughts, Pete?
He could be. How much would Atletico let him go for? That's the thing.
Well, according to SofaScore, he's worth 24 million euros. Because at 32, they're not going to. They can't demand too high a fee, can they? Well,
no,
they can't.
It's not a bad shout, is it? 24 euros.
24 million euros, yeah. But no, I mean, look, I'm just thinking of his experience. That's what I'm looking at, and what he could bring to Newcastle.
Absolutely.
And not only that, what he brings to the town, but also, can you imagine him, Bruno, Tonali in the same team?
Yeah.
He's just going to bring that wealth of experience. Yes, he'll not play every game because you're not expecting him to play every game. But as I say, yes, we know wages will be expensive. We know that. But I'm only just putting it out there. I'm only just putting out there what was said in the media. We're not saying it's true. But I just couldn't believe the meltdown of fans. No, 32, too old, can't have him, don't want him. And I'm like, hang on a minute. But he's got the experience. Yeah. He's still playing well for France. He still plays well for Atletico. Trippier knows him, so Trippier will know what he's like.
Absolutely.
That's possibly why Eddie Howe's interested, because probably Trippier's been talking to him.
Could well be, you never know.
So I know this will probably bring a lot of opinions in the chat as well, which will be, fantastic. So, yeah. Spain won 5-1 in the end. Coffee is policing me. I ain't saying nothing without that says beer. Jody says, I wouldn't take Griezmann. He's injury prone. Okay. What about his wages, says Coffee. Again, yes, we know he's on high wages. That's probably the thing. But I'm just going on with what, with what was being quoted in the media. We don't know if it's true Eddie Howe's looked at him, or we are inquired that he wants them. But, because it's been mentioned, I just thought I'd put it out there. That's all, So don't shoot me, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just putting it out there. What I've seen on the just what I've seen banded about in the media, and I was pretty shocked when I saw the link with him come up as well. So just looking at FBref, but it doesn't actually show what he's actually on in terms of wages wise. Bia says, I would love Griezmann for 1 or 2 years just to add the experience. Exactly what I've just said. Yeah, absolutely, Bia. Big wages and injury prone, plus no resale value. I wouldn't sign him. But that's the thing, no, Jody. Yeah, he's not going to have a resale value, but you're going to have that experience, aren't you? Paul says
Well,
he's played more than 30 games a season and 6 of the 7 last seasons. Absolutely.
Taggy's just said us something. According for Maurizio Romano, it looks like Christian Pulisic is going to AC Milan as well.
Is he?
Yep.
Yeah, they offered 12 million, didn't they? AC Milan, then they got knocked back.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Because there was a link putting us back with Pulisic as well. Foxy says another Nigerian kid to watch out for the Belgian league this season is Antwerp 16-year-old forward George Elenkiena. Do you know what, Foxy? I like these players that come from Belgium, right? Because there's some great players. Now, Rowley totally disagrees with me, right, on these players because he doesn't believe in the Belgian league, Rowley. But then you said an interesting fact the other day, Foxy, that the Belgian league is rated the 5th best league in Europe, with France in 7th place. So, and there's a lot of good players who come out of the Belgian league, Foxy. That's the thing.
Yep.
But I think Rowley might take a bit of convincing, you know. But that does sound a good shout. At 16 years of age, you know, he's not going to command a high fee, is he?
No.
Or he shouldn't be a high fee for him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see if I can find his stats on here. Maybe not. Maybe because he's a youth player. But that's one to look out for. Yes, Foxy and the one from Ghent. Oh yeah, you're talking about gift or ban. Yeah. Just putting out there, Mbappe is still on the market, says Bia. Exactly. Ian says, I would take Griezmann for Champions League experience, though wages could be a problem. Yeah, that's what we're saying, Ian. The wages could be a problem. But for the experience side of it, yes. Put the wages aside. Experience, yes. Wages, no thank you. Yeah. Jan says, Openda, best option, 23-year-old and 21 goals last season. Yeah, definitely. Do you know, I think I've spoken to you about Openda before, haven't I, Pete?
Yeah, I think you have, yeah.
Yeah. 38 million quid. Bia says, Pete, is there any update on getting a Kuna Matata?
Oh. this wasn't a dirty name. It was that song off the Lion King in it.
Oh, Hakuna Matata, isn't it?
That's it.
It's something like that, yeah. There's younger players with the same experience, saying a 28-year-old. Fair enough. I heard the new Tonali chant, I want to dance with Tonali, says Coffee.
Okay.
Philip Albert, everyone knows his name. Absolutely Geordie. What a legend. What a legend.
Silly is.
Sounds crackhouse, but for squad depth and rotation, I would still like Mitrovic, especially with the delivery of Tonali and trips. Do you know what? That's not a bad shout, you know.
The only thing is,
But I don't.
Mitrovic will want a lot of game time, and he'd not be guaranteed that now.
You don't go back either, do you, really?
You don't really, do you?
Rowley, a lot of convincing, lol. Yeah. Got to convince Rowley, Foxy, for the Belgian league, unfortunately. Paul Stone says, I think if we go for another striker, I'll go for Jonathan David. Young can score and will bring in massive shirt sales revenue from Canada.
No, yeah, Jonathan
I would
David
as well. I think Jonathan David's a cracking player. I really do. But the thing is, is Wilson going to be happy being third choice then, is he? That's the thing.
There you go, look.
But we can't please everybody. This is the part. This is part and parcel of when you want to be a big team and you want to have the squad depth. You've got to go on a rotation business like Man City have.
That's it, unfortunately.
Tanji says, and attackers are going to have an advantage with the new offside rule proposal coming in. Okay. A legend who? Me or Albert? Albert, Jody. But you're a legend as well, mate. Kuna Matata, what a wonderful name. Rolly says, players from the Belgium league struggle in England without going to a better league first. Players from France do well in the Premier League in general. Yes, they do, Rolly. I do agree. I mean, look, Eden Hazard went from Belgium to the Ligue 1 for Lille, and then he went on to Chelsea, and now he's at Madrid, but we don't know where he is because we've never heard about him anymore. Eden Hazard, he seems to have just gone into the wilderness, you know.
Yes, isn't
Maybe he might be the next one to go to Saudi Arabia. Would-be farmer, greetings from New Mexico. Good evening to you, would-be farmer. Hope you're well.
You will.
Toon, Black and White Alley. Yeah, says Mag. I wouldn't touch Mitrovic with a 20-foot barge pole. Can't control himself. Yeah, that's the thing, yeah. It's his... it's the way he is, yeah. If Wilson stays fit this season, says Tanji. Foxy says Antwerp bought Elenkia from the French League, lol. 6 million, 16-year-old, interested to see how they do in the Champions League. Yeah, it will be, yeah, definitely. Mag says he floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee. He's in black and white. It's Tonali. Jan says Hazard did live only 10 kilometres from Lille, though, says Jan. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? And I mean, yeah, right, as promised, we're going to have a look at these pictures because apparently we've got some pictures of Tonali now. So we'll have a look and we'll see what we can. We'll see what we've got. Right, let's have a look. Did you see the reminder earlier that anybody, if you want your season ticket renewed, you had till 5 p.m. tonight to do that?
Already sorted.
Well, we've got this picture of Tonali. I don't know where there's any other pictures, but I would imagine this looks like it's an animated picture of him anyway, but that's been put on the Newcastle Twitter page.
Yep, I've seen it.
Yeah. Mason says there was young kids waiting at the stadium since 10 this morning for Tonali, and they were gutted that he isn't at the stadium till tomorrow. Know that because I had a wander up. Yeah, he's not there till tomorrow, is he? Coffee says Ardagola signed for Madrid. Yeah, surprising that, isn't it? Would-be farmer. Any truth in the Saudi rumour for ASM, or is it rubbish? Again, we don't know, but I would say at 26, does he really want to go to Saudi? But what I would say is, would-be farmer, thing is, I think if he does stay ASM with us, next season is last chance saloon for him. He's got to do it next season, or I think he's gone. Simple as. But we'll see what happens. Bia says France, Belgium, Holland. It's all basically the same place anyway. Yeah, that's fair enough. Did Hazard not have a long-term injury and had to retire? I don't know.
Can't remember.
I've not heard. I don't know. Maybe he has done. Maybe. There was loads waiting. Naughty, 10 a.m. on a school day. Yeah, exactly. Playing the wag. I think some schools were on strike, says Mason. Okay. No. That's fair enough then. So I suppose they could have had a strike day then. Which is fair enough, isn't it? And absolutely brilliant. But surely tomorrow we'll see a lot more coming out from Tonali, and we'll probably hear from him as well. I heard the school were on midfield today, says Geordie. But yeah, I mean, I think we'll hear more about Tonali tomorrow, and I think we'll hear from what he's got to say, and I think we know he's quite happy at being here, and
that's it, isn't it?
He certainly looked happy. I mean, So again, it's one of them. We just have to wait and see what happens. But I'm sure it's going to be very interesting at see what he has to say in his press conference. I don't know what time his press conference will be tomorrow. Is it a full press conference? We don't know. That's the thing. So it's again, it is. It's just a one to wait and see of this season and see what happens. I did have a picture there, but I'm trying to think where I've put it now. I don't know. Can't find it at the minute, but right, let's have a look. Bias says the only thing teachers would strike in my day was me. Oh, were you a naughty boy in the classroom? Were you? Is that what the problem was? Yeah, you were naughty in the classroom, were you? You know. So yeah, but yeah. Right, I've got this picture. I've just sent it to Pete as well. So I'm going to pop it on screen.
Right. Yes, I've seen it as well.
Let's pop this on screen. Because, guess what, guys? And, you're going to love this. Tonali has a thing for Greggs. Look, he loves Greggs. As seen in the picture there at the airport. So, yeah. And that's been going around on Facebook and that today. It's been absolutely funny. But people have said, oh, look, Tonali's been for a sausage roll from Greggs and a coffee. And I thought I'd just put that one up for a bit of a giggle. Okay. With Kane or Harry, not Harry Kane. Apparently the teachers thought I was so good, they said I was unteachable. Every league you have players that do well and others that flop. Ndidi, Trossard, Lukaku, Matoma, Courtois, Benteke, at Villa, all done well. Plenty of others, and they come from the Belgian league as well. Yeah. Black and white banter made that photo. Yeah, brilliant in it. Can I have a Tonali Bolognese pasty, please? On the 3rd of June 2023, Hazard and Real Madrid reached a mutual agreement to terminate his contract at the end of the 23 season, ending his time at the club after 4 years. Okay, then that's interesting. So maybe he has retired then. But I've not seen anything that he's retired, though. That's the thing, so don't know. Anyway, we'll come to the end of the show now. It's been a cracking show, by the way, guys. And Pete, do you want to let people know where they can find you on your socials and channel? And what have you got coming up next?
Absolutely. So you find me on my channel, PD Prowlock. I'll be back on Friday with a bonkers PD's football live show, so get yourselves tuned in for that. Have a great laugh. The good old fool picks, comments about Schofield and others. And oh, God, I'm sure there'll be quite a few in on Friday. We'll have a right good laugh on Friday. So there you all. Follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at PD Prowlock as well.
Lovely. Thank you very much indeed, Pete. And guys, you know you can find me on Twitter down there, TonyTooney31. Give me a follow. I'll follow you back. Same handle on Twitch. On Facebook, it's all Black and White TV, so click to join and I'll let you in there. If you have enjoyed what you've seen, I hope you have, then please do smash that like. It really does help the channel. So if you haven't yet smashed that like, then please do smash it on the way out. Just helps it stay at the top end of the search results, and it means people can find the channel easy if they haven't found it before. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please come and smash the subscribe and join this wonderful community we have here. And also that bell notification tells you when it's live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. Subscribing is free, by the way, so no problems at all. So I'm currently on 767 subscribers now.
Nice one.
So I'm now 33 away from 800 and 233 away from the big 1,000. So thank you to everybody. And please do tell your friends and family, if they haven't watched this channel, to come watch it and give a subscribe as well. If you want to become a member, it is 99p to join per month. Just click the join button and we will do member draws as well. So there'll be monthly member draws. Also, if you want to make a donation to the channel, click the $sign and you can do it that way as well. Right, let's get through the last of the comments before we wrap this show up. Eden Hazard's off to Saudi. You heard it here first, says Jody. Yeah.
Could well happen.
Mason says, good job. The show's on Friday. I've got a family event on Saturday.
Nice one, Mason. It was good to see you there on Friday.
Ian Fleming, great show. Cheers, guys. Great show as always. Thank you very much indeed, Ian. Sorry it's been a bit of a longer one tonight. And that show still on the rumour mill? Yeah, will be. Top show, guys, says Bia. Thank you very much indeed.
Bia.
Jody would not be surprised, says Daniela. Yes, says Franklin. Alan Franklin, yes, good, yeah. Rowley says, yes, they did, but they did come to England, didn't come to England direct from Belgium League. I'm not saying Belgian players are bad, just their league isn't that good, Foxy. Firmino's joined Al Ali. Gerard Hall's become the manager of Al Ettifaq. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he has. Yes, he has.
Lee Kelly says, bang on show tonight, Tony and Pete and everyone. Thank you very much indeed, Ian. Indeed. But like I say, guys, just remember, the signings will come, you know, and keep the faith. Keep the faith, guys. Keep the faith.
That's the main thing.
But remember, the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. And it's bye-bye from me.
And me.
And we're the lads.